Hello, everybody. This is Nikki from Motherhood Unfiltered. It's going to be okay. And today, a little bit different. I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about this week, and I just didn't have really any direction. Oh my God, my dog. Um, so, anyway, I finally, it just like it, I just woke up this morning and it just dawned on me what I wanted to talk about for this week. So, this is what I'm doing. And so normally I would record, in advance and upload in advance. But this for the month of May, I did something different where I wasn't doing, a guest interview. It was just going to be me um, giving my point of view for the mental health month for May. So, because that's what we talk about all the time. So, for today, I want to talk about mental health and your diet. So, for the longest time, I think I knew this in the back, in the dark recesses of my mind, where the cobwebs are, where nobody goes in to clean, like in the attic. Nobody goes in the attic, right? So, but it has slowly, I started this new program where um, it's Thriving Thyroid, and it's a coach. She takes your physical health. They do testing, and then how your body is the how you should eat and how it benefits you. So, and I have been seeing significant improvement on my mental health. And so I'm really so excited about it. I just wanted to talk about it today. So if you're, since I'm doing this live, if you're on Facebook, if you will click on the link, you can give StreamYard permission or Facebook permission to show your name on StreamYard. So anyway, and then you can make comments. So, however, so today I'm going to talk about mental health and your diet. So what I'm learning is that if you suffer from any kind of mental disorder or attention deficit, anything like that, then um, you're going to be low on proteins, and so you need to eat more proteins. And so earlier I was looking it up, and I came across several websites that have shown that um, like they notice within like student athletes, they when they prepare for their events, that they will take in a lot of proteins, and they notice that the kids that do that, they have lower, um, they're not depressed. They don't have symptoms of dealing with mental health problems with anxiety and depression and things like that. So now the thing about it is I'm learning is that um, a lot of your major food companies that have grants from the government won't talk about this because they want you to um, purchase their food. So along with that, um, is making sure you get enough proteins, is also ingesting sugary drinks. So anything that has any kind of color in it, has a lot of sugar, has dyes in it. A lot of dyes will affect your chemical imbalance. And so it's important to, if you're in sugar in itself or processed sugar, causes greater inflammation. So it is best, if you're someone that deals with inflammation like I do, um, then it's best for you to try and cut that back or not ingest it at all. So what I found out was I put on a lot of weight in the past few years, and so I've developed skin problems from that. And and sometimes it would get better, and sometimes it really got really, really bad. The first summer I had it, I had to go to the dermatologist, and I walked out and there was like 5 different medications, and it took several months to get it cleared up. It was all over it was like in your hot spots of your body. So especially when you weigh more, your skin is rubbing against skin, and that causes bad flare ups. So, but at the time, I didn't know that a lot of the foods that I was eating was causing the skin issues that I'm having. So this year, I felt like I was ready to try and maybe lose some weight and deal with this um, skin problem. So what I discovered was that when I got my test results back, that I had was deficient in a lot of the proteins, and and then there were some minerals that deal with. Oh Jesus, my dog! She is insane. Um, so anyway, and so now that I'm trying to balance those out with supplements and foods, because I mean, face it, the foods that we eat are not providing us with all of the vitamins and minerals that we need. Because, first of all, if you're anything like, if you're anybody like me, then a lot of the foods that we eat are processed foods, and they have um, all the chemicals, the processed sugars and flours, and all of those things that are not healthy for us, and it's just causing inflammation throughout your whole body. Okay, and we we as a consumer, and if you are someone who is dealing with any kind of a health issue, the first thing I would start doing is look at the foods that you're ingesting. What are you putting in that could be causing that illness or that inflammation or anything like that? And then that would be something that you can say, oh, have an aha moment and be like, oh, so when I eat this, then I realize that my hives are getting worse, right? So, and even with my husband, he's noticing that anything made with corn flour is just causing him to have the acid reflux. And so he's had to cut back on those things. And it's just being intentional, and it's just being very um, aware of what you're doing. And if you are eating out, like with fast foods a lot, then I would definitely cut that out too. And trust me, I love McDonald's fries. So, but they have their own um, guidelines that they go by, but it's all processed foods. And and like I said a moment ago, as a consumer, it's left up to us to be responsible for our own health and what we're putting into our bodies. Usually, I mean, if you want to trust, the government or the food chain or whatever it is, you can. But I feel like the older I get, the more skeptical I am, and I'm not going to trust anybody. I barely trust myself with with what I need to know. So so one thing to think about is the sugary drinks. That is a big thing that is just creating so much inflammation in our bodies. The other thing is we are not getting enough of good proteins. And that could be, and proteins doesn't mean necessarily meat. If you are going to ingest meats, then I would definitely make sure it's non GMO, because they put so much um, chemicals in our foods that inhibiting our hormones, it's inhibiting our thyroid functions. And I mostly am talking about women, but this goes for men too. I mean, men are having issues too. And so it to me it's just an eye opener, right? I mean, to make sure that we are getting enough proteins in our daily diet, and that could be proteins through your beans, your some of your I was gonna say nuts. I think nuts. There's some nuts that has are high in protein, but just before you start, if you're trying to lose weight and you're like, man, I can't seem to get this weight off, well, here's the thing, people. Your gut health has millions of these finger-like. Um, I don't know the names for them, but when they're healthy, they all line up and they work together and they keep out the bad bacteria out of your gut. When we are full of inflammation and our gut it breaks down those little finger things, those finger like things. I'm sorry, I took the class in college, but I don't remember the technical names. But with the bad foods that we eat, those break down. And then all the bad bacteria gets into your gut health and it destroys that line of defense that's there to protect your gut. Your I always think of it as my stomach, but it's not particularly my stomach, it's my gut. And so when you are eating healthy, you're getting your meats, your good proteins, you're getting good vitamins and minerals, that sends serotonin and, oh my Lord, what's the other one? I want to say dopamine, but I don't think that's it. Um, to your brain to say, hey, all's good. And when you have poor gut health, that it just can't do that. And so I truly felt, since it was, May is mental health month, that maybe, you've been taking your medication and you've been journaling and, you've been getting time for yourself and you're feeling like, man, I still feel like and nothing's working. And and I feel that way too. But when I started paying attention to the foods that I've been eating and trying to log them, I'm supposed to log every day, but my poor coach, she probably thinks I don't care, but I do care. But you log your foods, and I've been drinking more water. I noticed a boost in my mental health. It's more positive. I'm not struggling as much. I don't have brain fog. And I'm just going to say this, and I I take my antidepressant medicine. I was taking anti-anxiety meds, and attention deficit meds, and my Synthroid for my thyroid. I've since the last 3 weeks, I've not taken any of the anxiety medication or the attention deficit medicine. And I've not noticed any issues. And it's because of my foods. I've been eating more proteins. And if you've been struggling with brain fog and feeling like you're just tired and fatigued, then you need to get more proteins in your diet. You need to drink more water. They say you should drink half your body weight in ounces of water, and then make sure you're cutting out, your sugars. Now, my oldest son and I, about once or twice a year, and we haven't done it this year yet, is we will do a sugar fast. And so that is just not eating any sweets or drinking anything with sweets in it. And that's hard. Like, I think we made it 4 days one year or last year. And then the other time we went a whole week because it resets your levels, because we get used to a certain level of sugar and then we will add more, and then we get used to that, and then you add more and you get used to that. And so before you know it, like every meal that you're eating or every time you go to the kitchen, you're reaching for something that has a sugar in it. And so when you do a fast, then your body's like, it gets rid of all that. And then when you go back to eating or drinking something with a lot of sugar, you're like, oh, that's just too much. Your body's has, saying, oh, I can't handle that much sugar. So that is basically what I wanted to talk to everybody today. Is just think of another avenue of your mental health is also your diet, and maybe take an inventory, um, because if you suffer from a mental health um, disorder, then a lot of times you're not even aware of when you're get what foods you're getting. You're not even aware when you're eating. Have you sat down to eat something, and then before you know it, it's all gone, and you don't even remember how it tasted? That that is because you suffer from a mental health disorder, and you lose concept of time. And so that's where we have to practice being intentional, stopping, thinking about what we're eating, get rid of the distractions. If you like to watch TV while you eat, turn it off. Or if you like to be on your phone while you eat, turn it off. you know, Eat with a family member and have a conversation, and just be more intentional, putting your fork down in between bites, and um, taking, a breath after, chewing thoroughly, and just thinking about, chewing the food and feeling the texture and tasting the different, you know, chem- uh, chemical, Lord, what's wrong with me? Seasonings that's in the food, and just enjoying it. Look at the color of the food. Those are things that um, us that live in a fast-paced world need to take time out and think about. So, so my takeaways for today is number one is um, think about your diet, and I'm not saying dieting. I don't like to use that word. It's a dirty word, and but I'm talking about your food in general, and how you eat, and where you eat, and when you eat. Think about those things. And so make sure you are getting enough meats. Make sure that you do get your, fruits and vegetables. Another thing was I wasn't getting enough fruit, and I love fruit, you know. And so fruits and vegetables, cut back on your sugary drinks, and be intentional, with how you're eating and when you're eating and what you're eating. And so, one thing that I had done a free course through my work. I think it was called Noom, which they do offer a free trial. But one of the things they wasn't Noom, it was something else. But one of the things they did say was to, um, when you are trying to drink more water and you're not someone who likes to drink water, is to add a little bit of orange juice to your water, and that will give you the natural sugars that, if you're like something that's sweetened. And so again, drinking water half your body weight in ounces, and as you, feel better. I mean, there's times where I crave my water, and now I've just gotten in a habit of, if I do go somewhere, to try and take my water bottle with me. It's full of ice, it's nice and cold. And I bought this big old 40 ounce. It's right here. This 40 ounce. And when it's filled up with ice and water, boy, I could knock someone out with this thing. So, mm, refreshing. Now I dropped it, and yeah, I'm sad about that. But I got one for my oldest son. He likes it. Um, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. But again, for Mental Health Month, um, everybody's, I don't know. I mean, I really haven't seen that much information go out and about. Usually you see, like, a lot of graphics and memes on social media, but I really haven't seen that much. So hopefully y'all will give my podcast a listen. And I don't know what's wrong with this thing here. There we go. Um, but last week when I was on here, I, well, crap. Let me find it again. I had it all ready, and had it all ready to show you guys. Oh, here it is. Okay. So, my grandson, he's a month old now, and I got the opportunity to go spend a week with my daughter-in-law. Oh, there you go. I think he's cute. I mean, if they told me that when I would someday be a grandma, that I would think it was the best thing in the world. And I didn't believe him, because I just loved my kids so much. But, and then when I first found out, like when my oldest was, or my middle son was having his first child, oh, I cried for 3 days because I was like, I'm too young to be a grandma. But then once I saw the ultrasound, I fell in love. I was like, it don't even matter anymore. And then now, um, I got to go up and spend time with him, and it was just so sweet. And I'm like, I wonder how I can get more PTO so I can take time off to go stay with them again. They probably wouldn't like that, but I mean, who wants their mother-in-law to stay with them? Nobody. But Anyways, so I wanted to show that because last week I felt like 5 years trying to find it, and I had it ready and then I lost it. I don't know how you can lose stuff on a computer, but you can. So anyway, I do want to make a couple announcements. Next Monday, there will not be a podcast episode. If I'm on the ball, I will maybe put up a um, something, maybe a replay or something. But so, next Monday is Memorial Day, and I hope that everyone has a wonderful holiday. Please take time out to celebrate. I've always cook, tried to cook out on Memorial Day. In the last couple of years. Well, since COVID, I haven't. And I feel the grill calling me. I can hear it say my name. And having some. I use charcoal. I don't use a gas grill or anything. And that it just has that special taste. And I'm like, I think I want some burgers and hot dogs on the grill, and maybe some corn. It just sounds so wonderful. And but we'll see. I gotta check my grill out. I might need a new one. So, but enjoy your holiday, and remember, you can always get more information on my website, www.nikkiasherbowling.com. And I have a blog I put out. And then you also, if you don't like to watch video on YouTube and you don't like to listen, but you like to read, you can request a copy of, I have every podcast episode transcript. So the raw, and most of them are like unedited. And so, but I do have them. So if you're someone that prefers to read, I do have my blog post on the website, but you can also request um, a transcript copy. Someday I will probably have them all out there, but for now, because I thought of it way too late, I don't have. It's going to take a lot of time to get them all out there. So for now, I just put up a contact form that you can fill out and request whatever episode that you want. And so if you haven't already, please remember to, if you watch on YouTube, to comment, like, and subscribe. If you've already done that, then please share it with someone that you care about. Also, if you're listening on the podcast, please go out to Spotify or iTunes and rate and review the podcast. And you can also rate and review each episode. So if there's one in particular that you really like, or you really thought was just a piece of ball of crap, just go out there and leave a review. You can also leave a review on Google. So if you go to Google and look up Motherhood Unfiltered, it's going to be okay. My business profile should pop up, and you can leave a review there too. So I try to, um, I those are the only places I are out where I am where you can review. So anyway, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will talk to you later. Bye.